For years, the Silverado ZR2 had one obvious weakness. Everybody knew it. Chevrolet knew it too. 33-inch tires in a class where the real competition runs 35s. That gap just closed, and it might create a completely different problem for Chevrolet, one that has nothing to do with Ford or Ram. Because the truck this ZR2 now looks the most like isn't a competitor at all. It's parked in the same GM showroom. Let's set the stage, because the ZR2 name has actually earned real respect over the years. Multimatic DSSV dampers, borrowed from actual desert racing technology. A genuinely capable factory off-roader that never needed a straight-line drag strip to prove itself. But the current generation ZR2 has always been stuck at 33-inch tires, while the Ford Raptor and Ram's TRX and RHO all played in 35-inch territory. On paper, that gap put Chevy's off-road flagship a full class behind in the one spec every off-road buyer notices first. Chevrolet just fixed that, and they didn't stop there. On June 16, 2026, Chevrolet officially revealed the completely redesigned 2027 Silverado 1500 lineup and confirmed the ZR2 as its dedicated off-road flagship. The headline change: 35-inch mud rain tires, standard, alongside a 2-inch factory lift and a dedicated off-road hood with an enhanced power dome for a noticeably more aggressive stance. And underneath, Chevrolet confirms standard front and rear electronic locking differentials. Non-option, not limited to a higher trim. Standard on every ZR2. That's not a minor spec bomb. That's Chevrolet closing the exact gap that's made the ZR2 feel like the little brother in this segment for years. But here's where things get genuinely strange. If any of this sound familiar, it should, because we've covered almost this exact spec sheet before, on a completely different badge. The GMC Sierra AT4X, GM's other off-road flagship, also just launched with 35-inch tires, Multimatic damper technology, and standard front and rear e-lockers. Same platform underneath both trucks. Very similar off-road hardware philosophy. So what actually separates them? On the hardware side, less than you'd think. The real differences show up in styling and cabin identity. ZR2 gets torch red accents, torch red edge seatbelts, and Chevrolet's first ever use of real forged carbon fiber trim on the doors and console. AT4X leans into its own distinct design language and GMC-specific interior details instead. That's a genuinely unusual position for GM to put two of its own trucks in, competing almost directly with each other, not just with Ford and Ram. And that internal rivalry is about to get more interesting, not less. Let's zoom out and put the ZR2 against the trucks it's actually built to fight. The Ford F-150 Raptor built its reputation on high-speed desert running and wide-track suspension travel. Ram's RHO counters with a 540-horsepower Hurricane high-output engine and its own 35-inch tire package. Chevrolet, so far, has been notably quiet on ZR2's actual horsepower and torque figures. What we do know: the new Silverado lineup gets two brand-new 6th-generation small block V8s in 5.7-liter and 6.6-liter displacements, alongside a turbocharged 2.7-liter 4-cylinder and a 3.0-liter Duramax turbo diesel. Chevrolet hasn't confirmed which specific engine or output figure the ZR2 will actually run. Until they do, anyone giving you an exact number is guessing, and I'm not going to do that to you. So is 35-inch tires and standard lockers enough to actually compete with the Raptor and RHO on raw performance? That depends entirely on a number Chevy hasn't told us yet. Here's the problem hiding in an otherwise impressive reveal. Chevrolet has not released pricing for the 2027 Silverado ZR2, and that matters more here than it usually would, because this truck just absorbed a genuinely premium features list. Standard 12.2-inch driver display, a 16.3-inch center touchscreen, standard across the entire lineup, consolidating what used to be two separate dash beards into one. And ZR2 specifically gets an 11.5-inch front passenger screen as standard equipment, alongside dual wireless charging and a reconfigurable multi-flex center console. That's a lot of genuinely premium hardware stacked onto a truck that also just gained 35-inch tires and standard lockers. All that costs money, and Chevrolet hasn't told us how much yet. If this truck creeps significantly upmarket in price, does that push it uncomfortably close to its own at 4X siblings territory? That's a real possibility nobody can rule out until GM actually announces numbers. But here's what almost nobody's talking about yet, because it's easy to miss buried under all the standard ZR2 news. The ZR2 Bison package is back for 2027, and it goes meaningfully further than the standard ZR2. Distinctive heavy-duty bumpers, rocker panel protection, 18-inch beadlock-capable wheels, and additional underbody skid plates on top of everything the regular ZR2 already offers. Beadlock-capable wheels specifically are a serious signal. Those aren't a cosmetic upgrade. They're designed to keep a tire seated on the rim at low pressure during genuine rock crawling, the same category of hardware you'd expect on a much more specialized off-road build, not a factory truck off a dealer lot. That's Chevrolet's real answer to the top of the segment. Not the standard ZR2, but the Bison sitting above it. And that positions Chevrolet with two genuinely distinct off-road trims for the first time in this generation, mirroring exactly what Ram just did with RHO and TRX SRT. Here's an industry secret about why this reveal looked the way it did. Chevrolet Global Executive Design Director Phil Zak has been explicit that the goal with this Silverado generation was a truck that looks stronger and more modern, while staying true to what Chevrolet buyers already expect. That's corporate language for a real strategic bet. GM is sharing one platform and one set of new engines across both Silverado and Sierra, then relying entirely on design language and trim personality to keep the two brands feeling distinct. That's not a mistake or a coincidence. It's the same efficient engineering philosophy that's let GM survive decades of competing against itself internally, going all the way back to Chevy and GMC sharing full-size truck platform for generations. The badges change. The bodes mostly don't. The real question isn't whether that strategy works financially. It clearly does, or GM wouldn't still be doing it. The real question is whether ZR2 buyers and A4X buyers actually care about that overlap, or whether brand loyalty alone keeps both trucks selling well side by side. So where does this actually go from here? I expect Chevrolet to price the standard ZR2 aggressively close to where the outgoing model landed, specifically to keep it positioned as the more accessible choice next to GMC's F4X. Even with nearly identical hardware underneath, that pricing gap, not the spec sheet, is probably going to be the real differentiator once numbers are official. The Bison, on the other hand, likely creeps meaningfully higher, positioning it as Chevrolet's genuine answer to the RHO and Raptor, rather than trying to make the base ZR2 fight that battle alone. That's a smarter strategy than trying to make one trim do everything. But it also means the truck most people are excited about right now. The standard ZR2 might not actually be the one that ends up defining this generation's reputation. Would you actually pay a 4X money for a Bison? Or is the standard ZR2 the smarter by the moment pricing drops? That's worth sitting with once real numbers are out. Here's the detail that ties this entire reveal together, and it's not the tires. Chevrolet specifically noted that the damper work on this generation of ZR2 wasn't only about trail performance. The retuned Multimatic DSSV dampers, now paired with jounce dampers, were engineered to improve everyday ride quality and drivability, not just high-speed desert composure. That's a meaningful shift in philosophy. Off-road trucks have historically made a real trade-off, brutal capability off-road, compromise comfort on the daily commute. Chevrolet is explicitly claiming they engineered around that trade-off this time, rather than just accepting it. If that holds up in real-world testing, it's the detail that actually justifies calling this truck bigger than ever, more than a tire size does. A 35-inch tire is an easy spec to advertise. Damper tuning that genuinely improves daily livability without sacrificing trail capability is a much harder engineering problem to solve. And it's the kind of detail that's separate to truck that's good on paper from one that's actually good on. So here's where this actually leaves the ZR2 heading toward its on-sale date. Chevrolet closed a tire gap, standardized the lockers, brought back a genuinely serious Bison package and rebuilt the interior around real premium technology. On paper, that's exactly the reset this truck needed. But two numbers are still missing: horsepower and pricing. And both of them are going to determine whether this truck actually closes the gap with Raptor and RHO, or whether it just looks like it did on spec sheet. So tell me, now that you've seen both trucks build on nearly identical bones, would you actually choose the Silverado ZR2 over its own GMC sibling? Comment below, because I have a feeling that comment section is going to turn into a genuine GM versus GM argument.